Okay, more of crazy and paranoia. Is it crazy? Is that a mental illness? See, here's another problem with the insane world. The things you were taught were crazy or not. The things that you were taught were sane are paranoia. Another word for paranoia is overcautious. And there is no such thing as overcautious. No such thing as too cautious. The only time that comes into play or someone makes reference of have objection to being cautious is people who are in a hurry. And caution is slowing down the process. Paranoid in that form is not bad, but it's not the only form that it takes. Let's talk about remote viewing, spying, monitoring, and this form of paranoia. See, human beings have inborn abilities to sense danger, and inside this danger sensor is the ability to know when you're being watched. No matter what the distance is, no matter what the mechanism, you can tell when another human being's thinking about you somewhere else. So you can really tell when you're being monitored. You can't always prove another person's thinking about you somewhere else or prove you're being monitored. The devices being used are greater than the devices you are using. You're using your eyeballs, they're using long range cameras. You're using your ears, they're using long range microphones. Too far away for you to hear, too far away for you to see them seeing you. But you can sense it. Sensing these things over time and not knowing the source of them makes a person paranoid, even insane paranoid, schizoid, schizophrenic paranoid. Okay, it turns people who were good people, smart people, solid leaders into paranoid schizophrenic madmen because others were tracking them, spying them, following them, telling them, which turned them into someone else. That form of paranoia is a crime. That's a classic mental illness, something that was given to someone, something they wasn't born, it wasn't a birth defect, they didn't have an accident. Someone caused this condition of paranoia. Okay? Those are the insanities we are at the top of our list. There's a lot of learnt insanities, but implanted insanities, insanity used as a weapon. Say a person is smart, people are listening to them. You can't seem to discredit them. You can't kill them, it'll make them a martyr. The strategy is to drive them insane or shame them before everyone. Air out the dirty laundry. That if that doesn't work. So it used to be confined to leaders and people that some other group felt was a threat. It's not confined to that no more. There's cameras on the street light. There are vehicles passing by you with cameras on them. The reason that a cop doesn't get out the car anymore and ask who anybody is that little chip on your ID can be scanned from the vehicle. And on that little chip that no one tells you about on your ID card, the little metallic looking label thing you see, there is more than you would ever, your entire life is on that chip. Everything about you is on that chip, on that card in your pocket. That's the chip you're worried about them putting in your head and all that. It's in your pocket. See, that's what was meant about it being in your forehead and in the palm of your hand. You have this card in your hand, and you have your ID number, your social security number in the front of your forehead. You must keep your number ready at all times to tell them what your number is. So this is in the front of your head, and this is in the palm of your hand. That's your mark. That's your beast. That's your chip. It's on the card. They know you're waiting to have it implanted. It's already implanted in your pocket. It's illegal not to have it with you. That's the same as it being under your skin. You must have ID. So now you're being surveilled. Surveillance is on you 24/7. Your TV's watching you now. Your phone's watching you. You're not just watching your phone and your TV. They're watching you through those devices. Private individuals, corporations, governments, hackers, neighbors. Yeah, neighbors. Your kid is listening in on your phone with a free app that's available to everyone. Dozens of them. For getting in someone's phone, reading all their emails, all their everything, listening to their conversations. You can even watch them on their camera or their phone. Any child can do this, so you know spies are doing something way more sinister. Okay? If these things are available to the public at the spy shop, you see people wearing those sunglasses. They have cameras in those glasses. They have cameras in those buttons and pins. They have cameras in the ink pens. They have fake phones with a camera on the side. So they have their finger over what you think is the camera, but they're still recording you. All these things are available at spyshop.com. You can go check it out for yourself. Everyone should. Because what you think is a nanny cam has went to new dimensions. Anything could be a camera. Anything. Your soap dish. So looking for bugs in the light fixtures is obsolete. It's obsolete. Checking for bugs. Because that pillow on your couch could be a camera. Not just the stuffed animal. The plant in the corner. The mop. The broom. Anything can be, camera and a microphone can be put in anything now. People are running around you with headphones on. Earplugs, they're cameras. They're looking at you from the side, and you're thinking you're safe because they're not looking at you. You know how you know someone who's wearing cameras that are that are earplugs that are cameras? They have stiff neck. See, if they turn their head, the camera can't see you. So they look straight ahead all the time. It's unnatural the way they look straight ahead. Because people riding on a bus, standing in a line and stuff, they look around. They move. Their head has natural movements and it's not still and straight. It takes concentration to hold your head still and straight and don't look to either side or look anywhere. That's a person recording you. That person with the stiff neck holding their head straight like they're looking forward, they're recording you. When you see someone come by holding their phone in their left hand, when that is the hand that you use to hold the steering wheel with and drive, the right hand is the free hand to talk on the phone, shift gears or whatever. When you see them holding their phone in their left hand, you're being recorded. Whenever you see a driver with a phone You're being recorded because the phone should not be visible because it should be on the right hand side of them, beside their ear, not on the left hand side. It's an amateur mistake. Professionals don't make that mistake. Only amateurs. And most other people spying now are amateurs. You got a world full of people and paranoia is growing. The bad kind of paranoia. The kind that causes mental illness and schizophrenia. So it is a bad thing. Separate note. Every action has consequences. Every people, every land, every culture has rules that they call laws. Ours have laws to deal with the things that are being done by people in this area. Let me cite you a few of these laws because the results is always the same. These are ancient laws, ancient remedies. They have not been updated or upgraded, except for where an axe was used. Now a laser is used. All right. If you steal, we cut your hands off. If you trespass, we cut your legs off. If you rape somebody, we cut your genitals off. If you're a spy, we cut your eyes and your ears off out. And if you're an amateur spy, a nosy person, you get the traitor punishment. What is the traitor punishment? Brown noses, what you call kiss asses, turncoats, traitors, lap dogs, this type of thing. Their punishment is we cut their nose off and mark them for life, where everyone know who they are, because they're the ones with no nose, the nosy people, the brown noses. All right, the kiss butts have no lips or no nose. If you ever see a person with no nose, we got him. We got them. So anyone messing around with me, I'm not gonna shoot at you. I'm not gonna send a bunch of people to beat you up. I'm not gonna take the kind of revenge that you think. I'm gonna chop off body parts. They can say it's illegal. Illegal where? To who? They still have the firing squad in this country. That's what you didn't know. They still have the firing squad. And their methods of execution are inhumane. Talking about humane death. You're gonna give them the gas chamber. How come they never show you the films of these humane deaths? Only movies. Because they're not humane. And they don't go out calmly and coolly with lethal injection. These are the people who came up with the electric chair. That's the electric chair. Does that sound a lot like them people putting those people in the ovens? Frying someone? Sound like the same people, huh? Frying is a punishment for the undesirables. Now, if they had a flawless system, someday that might wash. But because they're killing innocent people by these means, because they were found guilty by a jury of their insane peers, insane people cannot sit on a jury of judgment. You cannot pick random people from the population and put them in judge of someone's life. They all have mental problems and serious issues that disqualify them. The reason they don't bring this fact up is the judge has these same issues that disqualify him from being a judge. You cannot act as a judge over others' affairs, and you cannot even handle your own affairs. You cannot even handle your own household, your own family, your own circle, your own things. But you're going to presume to be judge over others? That's what I'm saying. Insanity has let insanity in the back door. What you call hire the brother-in-law instead of the most qualified applicant. Bending corners, cutting corners. All these things have snowballed out of control. Done by people who says, hey, this one time isn't gonna hurt. End up doing it 1,000 times and know that it's hurting. Let's talk about that one thing, one person, and the impact they have. Let me try to show you what ones represent. If everyone dropped a gum wrapper on the ground, a light piece of paper or gum wrapper, it will destroy the planet. It will bust it into crumbs. That's what kind of impact. If every one of us dropped a little piece of paper, that's how much impact ones have. Ones have ability to destroy the planet with it by dropping a piece of paper simultaneously. There's nothing ones can't do or one can do. That's why we're the ones. There's power and safety in numbers. We could be the one, which we will always have been and always will be. But the ones recognize other ones and their individual and their right to be individual and to be a one. Not a two, not a three, not a 300. A one. No matter what group they're in, no matter the numbers they're with, they'll always be a one. That's why they're called the ones instead of some group. So this has just been a note on paranoia. You're all suffering from it, just from slight degrees to extreme degrees. Overcautious, mislabeled as paranoia, is only a problem for those people rushing you, because being cautious takes more time. You move slower, surer. One more random note. When you're doing anything, never go past 3/4 of your might or speed or anything. Because going 99% is 1% away from out of control. Going 100%, the next increment is out of control. If you're running 100% and you make a slight mistake, you go tumbling. Asphalt rash. If you're running 3/4 and you make a mistake, you can adjust. I do it all the time. Because I move at 3/4 speed, I step on sharp objects. But the speed I'm traveling at allows me to detect the object and pull my foot off of it before it punctures me. You traveling at your full maximum, you end up getting cut through the foot every time. Because you have no room for error and adjustment. Never go past 75%. Don't use all your strength. Don't do anything that takes all of your strength. Because if you're one little tiny drop short, you could be crushed under something. Take on tasks that only use 75% of your strength at most. That way, if something occurs and you need that other 10, 15, 25%, you have it on reserve right there to put it into the action. Paranoia is fear. It should not occur from being watched. Eyeballs can't hurt you. They can't affect you at all. So you have to change your mindset because you're insane. That's why you get paranoia, from fear of someone watching you with their eyeballs. Some invisible person is watching me or out to get me. They're following me. All these are non-contact. Those paranoias you can overcome. Fear someone is out to kill you is insane because you have internal warnings that let you know when danger's around. If those signals aren't going off and your mind is telling you they are, that's insane. Your mind is out of sync with what is, with reality. Because you have other senses. You don't need chihuahuas. You can sense danger. But if you pad yourself with burglar alarms and chihuahuas and all these handicaps, you don't use it, you'll lose it. You'll lose your ability to sense danger, having things protect you, where you don't have to use your own senses. The dogs will bark, the alarm will sound. I don't have to be on guard. You shut it off, and it stays off long enough, it's dead.